I still remember the soft glow of the candlelight flickering across the elegant tables, the gentle hum of quiet conversations, and the faint scent of garlic and fresh herbs drifting through the air. It was supposed to be a perfect evening Mom's 65th birthday dinner at the one place I poured my heart and soul into for years. But family has a way of turning beautiful moments into scars you carry forever. My name is Elena, and for as long as I can remember, I've been the quiet one, the responsible one, the sister who worked 2 jobs through college while my younger sister Sophia chased dreams and excuses. Our mom always tried to keep the peace, smiling through every holiday, every gathering. Pretending we were the perfect family, I loved her too much to ever shatter that illusion. That night, I had arranged everything. The private dining room at my restaurant, Bella Luce, with Mom's favorite flowers on every table and her favorite Italian dishes prepared by my head chef. I told everyone I had made a reservation through a friend. I didn't want the attention. I never did. I just wanted Mom to feel celebrated and loved. As we settled in, laughter filled the room. Mom looked radiant in her new blue dress, squeezing my hand and whispering, "Thank you for making this happen, sweetheart." My heart swelled. For once, everything felt right. Until Sophia opened her mouth. She glanced around the beautiful space with that familiar smirk, the one she'd worn since we were kids whenever she wanted to remind me I was less than. She leaned back in her chair, sipping the expensive wine I had personally selected, and said loudly enough for the whole table to hear, "Wow, this place is fancy. Must cost a fortune." Good thing you're not paying for it, Elena. We all know you can barely afford your tiny apartment, let alone a dinner like this. The words landed like a slap. My cheeks burned. I forced a small smile, but inside, something cracked. My own sister. At our mother's birthday, in the restaurant I had built from nothing after years of sleepless nights, scraped savings, and quiet sacrifices no one ever saw. But what I didn't know that night was how deeply that moment would change everything. I had always been the one who faded into the background. After Dad passed, I stepped up working late shifts, helping Mom with bills, while Sophia bounced from one failed venture to another, always asking for just a little help. I gave it. Every time. Because that's what family does, right? Even when it leaves you exhausted and invisible. The dinner continued, but the joy had drained from the evening like air from a punctured balloon. Sophia kept making little digs comments about my basic clothes, how I still drove that old car, how I never seemed to make it like she dreamed of doing. Each one stung deeper because they came wrapped in fake concern. "I just worry about you, sis. You work so hard at that boring office job. Maybe it's time to aim higher?" Mom tried to change the subject, but the damage was done. I sat there, smiling for her sake, while my heart shattered in silence. Here I was, in the very restaurant I had sacrificed vacations, relationships, and peace of mind to build, being humiliated by my own blood. What Sophia didn't know, what no one knew, was that I had opened Bella Luce 2 years earlier. I had kept it quiet because I wanted it to be mine, a safe space away from family expectations and judgments. I poured everything into it. Late nights designing the menu, learning every recipe, hiring staff who felt like family, and finally seeing it become successful. The reviews were glowing. Reservations were booked months out. But I never bragged. I never corrected them when they assumed I was still struggling. That night, as Sophia mocked my finances in front of extended family and Mom's closest friends, the betrayal cut deeper than ever. It wasn't just about money. It was years of being overlooked, underestimated, and emotionally drained. I had supported her through breakups, bad investments, even lent her money she never repaid. And this was how she repaid me, by tearing me down on a night meant for celebration. Tears burned behind my eyes as I excused myself to the back. In my office, I stared at the framed photo of Mom on opening day, the one she thought was just a friend's restaurant. The pain turned slowly into something else, a quiet resolve, a fire I had buried for too long. I wasn't going to explode. Not there. Not in front of Mom. But I was done shrinking myself to make others comfortable. The girl who stayed silent was gone. In her place was a woman who had built something beautiful with her own 2 hands. The rest of the dinner passed in a blur of forced laughter and stolen glances. Sophia basked in the attention, playing the charming daughter while I counted the minutes until I could breathe again. Inside, my mind raced. How long had I let this dynamic exist? Why had I protected her ego at the cost of my own worth? By the time dessert arrived, Mom's favorite tiramisu that I had perfected myself, I knew the night wasn't over. Not really. The perfect moment came when the owner was supposed to stop by to greet the birthday guest, as arranged with my staff earlier. I had planned it as a small surprise for Mom, but after Sophia's words, it became something much more powerful. As the lights dimmed slightly and my manager announced that the owner wanted to personally wish Mom a happy birthday, Sophia rolled her eyes. "Probably some rich guy trying to impress us," she whispered loudly. Then I stepped out from the back. The room fell silent. Mom's eyes widened in happy confusion. Sophia's face went pale. I walked over to Mom, hugged her tightly, and spoke clearly, my voice steady but filled with years of quiet strength. "Happy birthday, Mom. I wanted tonight to be perfect for you. Because this restaurant, Bella Luce, it's mine. I built it. Every table, every recipe, every late night. I own it." Gasps rippled through the room. Sophia looked like she had been struck. Her mouth opened, but no words came out at first. The same sister who had just mocked my finances now sat in stunned silence in my restaurant. I turned to her gently, without anger in my voice, but with truth that had waited too long. "Sophia, I've always supported you. I've given when I could. But tonight, your words reminded me that I don't have to hide my success anymore. I'm proud of what I've built. And I hope one day you'll be proud of me too, instead of tearing me down." Mom was crying happy tears, pulling both of us close, but the shift in the room was undeniable. Family members who had heard Sophia's earlier comments now looked at her differently. The power dynamic had flipped not with cruelty, but with quiet, undeniable truth. Sophia apologized later that night, her voice small and shaky. I accepted it, because holding on to bitterness would only poison what I had worked so hard to create. But I also set new boundaries. No more loans without repayment plans. No more allowing her to diminish my worth to feel better about herself. In the weeks that followed, something beautiful happened. Mom started visiting the restaurant more, glowing with pride. Business grew even stronger as word spread through our circle, and I finally stepped into the light I had avoided for so long. The greatest revenge wasn't humiliating my sister publicly. It was realizing my own value and refusing to dim it anymore. Family can break you in ways no stranger ever could, but they can also teach you the most important lessons about strength, forgiveness, and self-worth. If you're watching this and someone in your life keeps trying to make you feel small, remember this: your success doesn't need their permission. Build it quietly. Protect it fiercely. And when the moment comes, let your truth speak louder than their words ever could. Thank you for being here with me. If this story touched you, share your own experiences below. You are